What you're about to hear is not coming from a politician, not from a journalist, and not from a courtroom lawyer. It's coming from a family of a murdered national hero, Senzo Meyiwa. A Facebook post recently shared by Patricia Morgan Mashale has ignited intense debate across South Africa. In the post, a letter written by Sifiso Meyiwa was made public, and the message inside that letter is explosive. The Meyiwa family is now asking some of the most powerful figures in South Africa to intervene directly in the murder case. They addressed the letter to the Minister of Police, the Minister of Justice, the National Director of Public Prosecutions, and even the Chief Justice of South Africa. But the real shock lies in the allegations. The family claims that the murder case of Senzo Meyiwa may be surrounded by fraud, corruption, fabricated evidence, and a possible cover-up. Now, those are serious accusations, and today we are going to break down exactly what the family is saying, what we know from the trial, and what questions still remain unanswered. Because after nearly a decade since Senzo Meyiwa was killed, many South Africans are still asking one question: are we actually closer to the truth? To understand why this letter matters, we need to step back. On the night of October 26, 2014, South African football captain Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed inside a house in Vosloorus. His death shocked the country. He wasn't just a football player. He was the captain of Bafana Bafana and one of the most recognizable athletes in South Africa. But what followed became one of the most controversial murder investigations in the country's history. For years, there were multiple versions of what exactly happened that night. At first, police said it was a robbery gone wrong. Later, investigators began to suggest that the crime might have been something else entirely. Eventually, 5 men were arrested, charged with murder. But from the beginning of the trial, the case has been surrounded by intense disputes. Defense lawyers have challenged evidence, witness testimony has been questioned, and the credibility of investigators has repeatedly been debated inside the courtroom. One of the central figures in the investigation has been Bongani Gininder, a senior police officer who led key parts of the probe. Meanwhile, the prosecution in court has been led by Advocate George Baloyi, and presiding over the case is Judge Rata Mohatleng. All of these names now appear directly or indirectly in the letter released by the Meyiwa family. According to the post shared online, the letter was written by Senzo Meyiwa's brother, and it begins respectfully but quickly turns urgent. The family says that they are asking the government and the justice system to intervene in what they believe is a deeply compromised case. Specifically, the letter calls for intervention from the Police Minister Firoz Kachalia, Minister, Justice Minister Mamaloko Gupai, National Director of Public Prosecutions Jan Motibi, and Chief Justice Mandisa Maya. But what exactly are they asking these officials to investigate? The letter lists several allegations, and it's important to emphasize something here. These are allegations made by the family. They have not been proven in court, but they are serious enough that they are now being discussed across the country. The first major claim involves cell phone records linked to one of the accused. According to the letter, the prosecution allegedly submitted cell phone tracking records showing movements in various locations, but the family claims something about those records doesn't make sense. They say the phone was supposedly already confiscated by police at the time those movements were recorded. If that claim were true, it would raise serious questions about how those records were generated. Now, to be clear, cell phone evidence has been used in many criminal cases around the world. Cell tower data can show where a phone connected to a network, but it is also evidence that must be handled carefully, because errors in interpretation can happen, and the defense lawyers often challenge how data is presented. In the Senzo Meyiwa trial, cell phone evidence has indeed been discussed extensively. Analysts have been called to testify, and cross-examination has focused on how digital data was extracted and interpreted. But the family's claim goes further. They are suggesting that some of the records may have been fraudulently manufactured. That is an extremely serious allegation, and it is one of the reasons the family says a new investigation is necessary. Allegation 2. Investigative delays. The second issue raised in the letter involves the police watchdog. The family says a separate fraud complaint related to the case was reported to Independence Police Investigative Directorate, commonly known as IPID. But they claim the investigation has been slow, and according to the letter, that delay raises suspicions. Now, it is important to understand how IPID works. IPID investigates alleged misconduct of police officers. That includes corruption, abuse of power, and criminal actions committed by members of SAPS. But investigations may take time, especially when they involve complex evidence and multiple officials. Still, the family says they want assurance that the case is being handled by senior and independent investigators. Allegation 3. Courtroom bias. Perhaps the most controversial part of the letter involves the court itself. The family claims the current judge has shown hostility towards the defense, and they argue that a different judge should preside over any future proceedings related to the case. Now, judicial bias is a very serious accusation. Judges are expected to remain neutral and impartial, but strong courtroom exchanges can sometimes lead observers to different interpretations, just like we have seen since 2023 up until now 2026, in high-profile trials especially. Tensions between judges and lawyers are not unusual, but determining whether a judge has acted improperly is something that normally falls under judicial oversight bodies and appeal courts. Still, the family's criticism reflects the growing frustrations many people feel about how long the case has taken. It has now been more than a decade since Senzo Meyiwa was killed, and despite the years of investigations, arrests and court proceedings, many South Africans feel that the truth remains unclear. The Meyiwa family says the case has already taken a heavy toll. They say the stress surrounding the investigation contributed to the deterioration of their father's health, and they fear their mother may also suffer the same because of emotional burden. Whether or not the allegations in the letter prove accurate, one thing is undeniable: the country still wants answers. And the longer the case continues, the more public trust becomes part of the conversation. The letter from the Meyiwa family is not a courtroom adjournment. It is not evidence, it is not a verdict, but it's a powerful reminder that behind every headline, there are families waiting for justice. And when a case becomes this complex, public scrutiny grows. If the allegations are wrong, they should be disproven clearly. If there are irregularities, they should be investigated transparently, because justice doesn't only depend on the final verdict. It also depends on whether the public believes the process was fair. What do you think, the hot seat? Should the government intervene in the Senzo Meyiwa case? Or should the court process continue without outside pressure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more deep investigations into the major South African cases, subscribe to the channel, because sometimes the biggest stories are the ones that still don't get to have answers.